Welcome back to another video from this channel. Today we are going to talk about America's most haunted places. Modern culture has always had a morbid fascination with ghost stories. There's something about the unknown that can set our imaginations into overdrive. That shadow in the periphery, the tapping at the window or misheard whisper in the hallway, it often makes us question whether there is more to this world than we can see. So join us as we investigate some of America's most haunted places. The Villisca Murder House. In the early hours of June 10, 1912, a grisly murder scene was discovered in a house in Villisca, southwestern Iowa. The Moore family and two houseguests were found bludgeoned to death. All 8 victims, including 6 children, had severe head wounds caused by an axe. The case remains unsolved, with no murderer ever identified. Today the house is famous for chilling paranormal encounters. Some claims that they've heard children crying, felt unexplained cold spots, and seen an apparition of a man dragging an axe. Many thinks that the spirit of the Moore family remain in the house, bound to reenact that fateful morning. The Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, located Ivestern, West Virginia, this asylum housed a range of occupants from murderers and rapists to petty offenders on substance abuse and even suffers depression. This odd mix of patients led to a harrowing environment of violence and abuse, leaving behind tortured souls that cry out in the night. The traumatic pain of ice-pick lobotomies, rape and torture has imprinted upon this property, giving all thoughts who visit a cold and forbidding feeling. Objects moving on their own, lights flickering, shadows in the distance disappearing, are all the result of pained souls left behind, doomed to wander the echoed halls of this troubled asylum. And there in Ward R is Lily's room, the home of a young deceased girl that waits patiently for someone to play with her. The Drish House. The house of Dr. John R. Drish is a historical plantation house in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. This stucco brick mansion, built by enslaved people, has been the site of many spine-chilling events. When Dr. Drish passed away, his wife Sarah kept a close vigil over her husband's body in the upper tower. She burned candles and sat by the body for several days until the funeral. Sarah asked her friends that when she passed away, that the same candles to be used in her funeral. As she grew older, she became obsessed with the candles, insisting that they be burned when she dies. However, when it came time and Sarah passed away, her friends and family could not find the candles and they were not burned at her funeral. Months later, fire crews were called to the old Drish house after the neighbors reported the upper tower on fire. But when the firemen arrived, there was no evidence of a fire whatsoever. Since then, many people have seen a strange glowing light coming from the upper tower of the windows. Despite no one living there, a haunting figure that resembles Sarah has even been spotted wandering the grounds of the plantation. The Mansfield Reformatory, the Ohio State Reformatory, is a historic prison located in Mansfield, Ohio. This sprawling complex was built in 1896 by architect Levi T. Scott with hope of reforming troubled boys that were sentenced. By 1990, the prison was ordered to be closed due to overcrowding and poor living standards. Over 200 inmates died at the Mansfield Reformatory. The building still stands today, with visitors reporting many unsettling experiences. The long paint-peeled hallways, home to shadowy figures that work in the periphery, their eyes piercing the living souls that have come to visit. In the chapel of the reformatory, many inmates reportedly experience painful and slow deaths, hung from the rafters. Those who visit from this room have felt ghostly hands grabbing at them when sudden cold gusts of air blow through the room. Many skeptics have turned into believers in the depths of this old chapel. Hundreds of unfortunate souls light on the ground of the Mansfield Reformatory. But perhaps the creepiest haunting is that Helen, the warden's wife who met a chilling end in the administration wing. While reaching for a box on the top of the wardrobe, Helen knocked a gun off the shelf which fired a round deep into her chest, killing her. Many believed she was murdered by her husband, but no evidence was ever found. Now visitors to the prison report smelling Helen's distinct rose perfume when they enter her living quarters. Prisoners have even said they felt her ghostly hand tuck them in at night. The Union Cemetery. The nearly 400-year-old Union Cemetery in eastern Connecticut is reported to be one of the most haunted graveyards in all of United States. Many peoples have had strange encounters at the corner of Route 59 and 136 near the old church. There have been reports of strange lights and unexplained mists, some of which been caught on film. There's even been a book about this location by Ed Warren detailing the haunting. There are two standout figures that roam these chilling grounds. First, there's the White Lady that appears in the middle of the Route 59. She's dressed in a long white gown and a long black hair, and sometimes wearing a white bonnet. Many drivers have reported driving straight into her, with one off-duty fireman claiming she dented his truck as she passed through. She's often sighted roaming the grounds of the cemetery as well. A little is known as to whom it might be, but rumors tell of a woman brutally murdered and left in the sinkhole behind the church. Others say it's a ghost of a woman who died during childbirth. So this is the end of today's video. If you liked it, hit the like button and remember to subscribe and to tickle the bell icon so that you will be notified every time we upload a video just like this.